That's stage right.
So we are here with some of the cast from Last Night on Earth, the zombie game, and I'm actually going to get to meet some of the characters in the game here. Can you introduce me?
Yeah, no problem. So, first of all, we have Lizzie the Shopkeeper. People may know her from Growing Hunger, the expansion for Last Night on Earth. Everyone knows Sally. She needs no introduction from the original Last Night on Earth, and also reprising her role in the new Timber Peak expansion. And introducing for the first time Alice the Diner Waitress from Timber Peak. And you can see she has mastered the art of the terrified scream look. Yes, she looks too happy here. You need some zombies, I think. Yes, and Doc Brody, again, no introduction, this man. So I'm sure he's saved everyone's bacon on countless occasions if you've played Last Night on Earth.
Yes. Now we have special guests here because we actually have the parents of the Hills. Oh, really? Oh, I'm sorry. Was I supposed to not break that fourth wall?
Of course. So, you know, when we started doing this, we thought it would be really fun to give them a cameo appearance. Little did we know that they would steal the show and that everyone would love them. So, you know, we did give them plum rolls. Yes. Doc Brody able to come out and heal you.
Yes.
Who's not going to love that? And of course, Lizzie the Shopkeeper with her shotgun just demolishing zombies left and right. So we gave them kind of plum jobs and they really ran with it. So it's a lot of fun to have them out at the convention. And you know, how many people get to have their mom be a booth babe?
That's awesome.
It's important.
Now, in terms of the other actors here, are you actors, models? How did you become involved with the process here?
I'm Michelle, by the way, and I am not an actor or a model. I make a living as a paralegal, and I'm headed to law school next year. So I actually our story. I was a waitress at the time, and I served them at the restaurant I was working at, and so they kind of
got roped in.
Yeah, they plucked me out of there, and it's been amazing ever since. I've had great experiences with it.
You never know where you're going to find the perfect person, and we had such a tough time casting Sally because she had to be the sweetest, cutest girl next door, and our waitress this one night had that exact look. So we approached her, and the tough thing is that we had never done a game before, so we had nothing to show her, and she just had to go on faith that we weren't going to chop her into little pieces or something like that.
Well,
that must have been a weird conversation. You could be in a board game, but as cards or something.
It was a little awkward, just a little bit. And I came home to my boyfriend. He's now my husband, and we talked about it. And he said, "Well, I'll come with you if this is something you might want to do." And so we went, and now these guys are some of our best friends. So yeah.
Like you were saying earlier, it's great to have these relationships build over time. Now, you're fairly new to the cast here.
Yep.
What was your experience with shooting all of the card art for Timber Peak?
It was just so much fun. It was kind of scary because they actually had the people in zombie makeup, so it wasn't very hard pretending, feigning terror or anything.
Right.
Yeah, and the other actors, of course, were really fun to work with, and so it ended up just being a really fun day, and going through the woods with all kinds of weapons, slashing stuff with my machete. Had a really good time.
Sounds like a great time. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you all, and I hope the zombies kind of behave themselves, at least at GenCon.
This is the place to be if it does happen.
Yeah.
So.
That's right. We got it covered if there's a zombie outbreak.
Yeah, I know where I'm coming.
Exactly.
1331.
Yes, booth 1331.
Yes.
Yeah. So we have a few other characters from some of the other games. Would you like to meet them as well?
Absolutely.
Why don't you guys move this way? And let's bring you guys in. All right, you guys, yeah, please. Bonjour. All right, and from our new Coast expansion for Last Night on Earth, we have Maria de la Rosa, the Spanish smuggler, and you can see she's quite fetching here in print, but in real life, never mind, done deal. And from the A Touch of Evil Hero Pack 2, we have Frederick Leon, the French foreign diplomat, and he has mastered a French accent.
It's a unique French accent. It's not from Quebec at all. It's an original French accent.
We happen to know him in real life, and he has a French accent normally because he is French Canadian, and so that just clicked right in our mind, and we're like, you know what? I wonder if Steve would want to do it. And as it turns out, he's the perfect. He's perfect for this role.
I almost look like a real French. It helps.
It's the role he was born to play.
Absolutely. Now, maybe talk a little bit about your involvement with the game art and how maybe you came to become involved with Flying Frog.
Yeah, I was, for a while I knew these guys and I know their games, and I was hoping for them to invite me at some point to play one of the characters. So when Scott came to me, and it showed me like all the characters, I just jumped at it. I was so happy.
We were friends, but we had no idea that he was interested. He never said anything. And when we said, well, would you ever consider being in a game? He's like, yes, I was waiting.
Yes, I was just waiting for you guys to ask me.
He just kept it silent, you know.
Yeah.
But Hannah here is a model professionally. And we found her through a modeling agency, and she just is fantastic, and she's become so valuable to us. Like, she's such a good person. You know, models sometimes can be a little standoffish, but she is not at all. Down to earth and amazing. And she has a secret, which is that she is very, very nerdy.
Yes, I come from a long line of nerds.
Excellent.
My dad is an avid comic book collector, so I feel very much at home in this environment.
Excellent, excellent. How does your nerdishness show itself? Or collecting, or?
Ask her about her degree.
Okay.
Well, as Scott has maybe suggested I actually studied mathematics and physics in college, so those are my 2 degrees.
Excellent, excellent.
So, yes,
those are some high-class nerd
Exactly.
credentials.
And then the secret life of a gamer on the side kind of just seals the deal. So.
What we like to do at Flying Frog is get really, really beautiful women and then make them geeky. It's fantastic. It's our mission in life. So far, it's going well.
Really good.
Mission accomplished.
It helps if you start with a nerd to begin with.
Yeah, I was going to say, that
that's
wasn't
true,
really
that's
much
true.
work there, really.
Just push her a little bit further.
Well, it was a pleasure to meet you, and
We have one more I'd like to bring through. If you guys would step just to the side. None other than the man himself from Fortune and Glory, the Duke.
excellent.
Duke Dudley in the flesh, British Lord. Here he is, as you can see, austere and debonair, and we have him here in a tuxedo. It's fantastic to have him here at the booth because nothing says high class like a tuxedo.
Absolutely.
With
and
his
a Duke
cane
in a tuxedo.
and
no
his
less.
spats. Fantastic.
Very nice. Now, we've met before.
Yes.
I don't know whether you remember, but
I
we
remember.
previous Gen Cons here. Maybe talk a little bit about your involvement with Fortune and Glory and how you came to know the Flying Frog folks here.
Well, yeah, so I met Scott, more than 10 years ago. We worked together. And I got to play Fortune and Glory around not long after we met in a prototype form. And it was, as a game, it was recognizable as it is now. And it was really good. And I think it was, I don't know if it was the first game I played or the second game I played. I played Duke Dudley. So I got introduced to the character, and I'm like,
it's stuck.
Yeah, there's something familiar about this character.
Well, so one thing that you should know is that so Matt in real life, Matt Dudley, and when we first met, he told me this story. He is actually related to a famous duke who had an affair with the Queen, and this is this big part of history, and it's the Duke of Dud. Is that right?
Let's see. Duke. I don't know. I do know there's a Dud England.
Yes.
Yeah. So I know that there's a Dud England. And I know that there's a Castle
Dud.
Castle
There's a
Dud.
Castle
And
Dudley.
so he's telling me this story, and I started calling him the Duke as a nickname, and then as it proceeded, the Duke became this persona larger than his own life, and so we had to merge this in with the game, and so Duke Dudley is it's pretty real actually, so it's scary. And another fantastic thing is that I met a girl that was named Dudley as well, and I said, you know, I have a friend named Dudley. That's an uncommon name. And she's like, yeah, I'm supposed to be related to a British lord, like a duke. And I was like, oh, you guys are cousins! Oh my god! And so I was so excited, and I had to introduce them. And I'm like, you guys, yeah, and I'm watching on this, and so they were like, oh hey, you know, and then we put her in the game as well, and we cast her as Alison Dudley, the Duke's niece.
Nice.
And so she is also in the game, playing a version of herself.
Weird life imitating art, imitating game, back and forth there.
All the stuff in our everyday lives churns and turns and ends up coming out the other end in some form.
Well, it was a pleasure to meet you again, and I won't force you to do your British accent this time.
I appreciate that. It's brutal. Everyone else thanks you too. Like, no one wants to hear it.
One day.
One day. We'll
have extensive vocal training.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you have talking cards, maybe.
That's right.
Nice. Excellent. We might have a British stand-in.
Yeah.
I say.
You know,
it won't be me.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I won't be offended. That would be necessary.
Well, I think that gives you a good sense of the world that Flying Frog creates behind all their games, and the lengths that they go to actually bring their games to life in a way that you really don't see anyplace else. You don't get a chance to actually meet the board game characters in the flesh in any other place, especially here at GenCon. So thanks for the opportunity, and
thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you.